Welcome back, viewer. If you are just joining us, you're watching The People Show here on GBS TV. For comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send us an email on info@gbskenya.com, or you can send us a short message on SMS line 21144. With us in studio today, we have Abdi and Raymond, and we've been speaking about this new technology that is taking up the whole world now, and mostly we are talking about Kenya. Raymond, before the break, you're just explaining to me about the ease that TVU is bringing to all players and not just broadcasters. Maybe you can just carry on with that.
Yeah, so we're finding that it's being very well received, and with like houses of worship in particular. Also, you're finding with utility organizations, which you may ask, how would a utility company use this technology? Well, you got this guy that's going up on this pole, looking at power lines and things like that, and there may be something going on that he may not quite understand, or a decision may need to be made by other engineers within the organization. Well, if he has a unit like this on his back and a small camera, he can actually get a high definition shot of what's going on, and engineers back at the facility can see and they can make real-time decisions really fast. Inspection of bridges, train trussels, things of that nature. You're finding law enforcement, they're using it. When there are crime scenes and things like that, content is being sent back to the command center where the commanders can make real-time decisions in a more timely way, which saves lives and preserve the integrity of crime scenes and things like that. So there are all sorts of ways it can be used, and you'll find that your limitation is your imagination. Corporations are using it to bring content back to the board of directors, or when they have their all hands on deck type meetings. They can go out to a manufacturing facility or visit a store, and that's being brought back to the employees real time. So there are all sorts of ways it can be used, and all you need is an internet connection.
Maybe, Abdi, if you can just take us through very quickly the gadget in front of us. Maybe you can just explain to us a little bit. I guess it's the same that Raymond is just telling us. Maybe if you can just allow us to see the gadget, and I believe the cameraman is also ready to.
Actually, this is our backpack.
All right.
So this is like, now it's a whole set of satellite transmitter.
All right.
Orbit-track, isn't it?
It's an equivalent of an orbit-track.
Exactly, yes. This
Small
one,
as it is.
Yes, this one.
All right.
So it's this is a bag, actually, what you call it, backpack. So for the cameraman, it's easy just to put it at his back on the other side, then the cable from the camera to this one, which is not heavy, almost like 1.2 kilograms.
Okay. So
the bag, even it is smaller than what you can see. So that's a bag. Sorry. Well, this is a bag.
It's okay. Yes.
Yes. That's all. So this is a whole transmission system. This is a transmitter. There is a power supply, the generator, everything. There is a battery inside, which you have the power. And what all we want to do here is just place a SIM card, the regular SIM card, with an internet data on it. So we can have up to 6.
6.
Yeah, 6 SIM cards. So the idea of that, you need to have a multiple carrier. Internet service providers. So we can have 2 Safaricom, then 2 Telecom, then 2 Orange, or whatever you have. Airtel, Tigo, yes. What do you have here in Nairobi? So you put different ISB here. So the idea it is like when you got a good connection at Safaricom, you are safe. If anything goes with Safari, then you go automatically, the system goes to, yes, exactly. So we just want you to connect your camera. This is SDI. So you just put the SDI cable coming out from the camera. And it's not only a camera, actually. It's a source. So that one, it could be like OB van, like video switcher, TriCast or whatever with 3 or 4 cameras, or OB van with 20, 18, 10 cameras, football match, whatever. And you just connect that. We call it input. So that's output. So it's coming here.
So it's more of a feeder at the same time.
Exactly. So this is a back like this. You put it on. Even we don't want, we designed this a back. We don't want a technician guy to be with the back.
Okay.
It's only the cameraman.
All right.
What you want to do is just to put it on, like this. Very simple.
Just turn it on.
You put it on, the back automatically start the booting the operating system, which is based in Linux. And then, after that, connecting automatically the SIM cards. Access, then connect to the internet. Then within less than a minute, only 1 minute less than that, you can get the video at the other side.
Whoa.
Yeah, with this back. So you can start sending the live feeds using the back. The internal battery, it can allow you up to 2 hours time moving out with that one. So you have the battery at your camera, you have this battery, so you can walk around for 2 hours sending live feeds.
All right.
Also, we have an option here, which is like, say, 2 hours is not, they are not enough. So we have, this is actually, I always say this is like a power bank.
All right.
So
it's like
yes,
a backup.
Yes, it's a battery, okay, external battery, gold mount or V mount, whatever.
Okay.
Then that battery, there is a cable. So you start charging the internal battery, which is here.
As it's still in use.
So you can have 2 hours here, then 2 hours are there, the total of 4 hours. So you'll be, you are able also to move this one and to replace it with another fully charged battery. So you put it again here.
So you got options.
Exactly. So you can have the you can have it for 4 hours, 6 hours, maybe even 10 hours. Keep replacing the batteries from here, just hot swap. And the bag inside, the battery inside the bag, you keep charging it. So with this one, just put it at your back, then you go outside. So you see this one, this is our this is the screen. It's also the touch screen.
Okay.
So you can, yes, you can do the configuration. What is like your mobile, do the configuration on it.
All right.
Well, so there are a lot of things inside actually. If you can see, it's like a touch screen. So all the configuration you need to do, you can do it from here. And actually there are another way to access the bag using your phone and IP address as well. But however, this is a bag. Also, it can accept HDMI. So there is a professional cameras, small cameras, but they don't have an SDI output. It's only HDMI. Also here we can accept
the small DSLR cameras.
Exactly, that one is doesn't have an SDI. It's only HDMI. Yeah. So there is also a HDMI input. So this bag, it's a completely transmission system with this one. And the most important part with this bag is not just to use here in Nairobi.
No.
So you can take this bag and you can go to South Africa.
Oh.
You can take this bag and you can go to Japan or China or Europe or to the United States. You can still have your bag and your camera sending the feed from that side.
So let me ask, just for viewers' sake.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what kind of technology now are we talking about? Because is it a P2P or how? What's the connection now? Because now I'm in South Africa with my gadget and my camera.
Okay.
Then how do I send my feed?
Well, it works just like a cell phone.
All right.
If you can get a data connection, cellular data connection, it will work. And you have been in some of these environments where you're setting up to cover, an event, and you have to pull all these cables and everything is taped down, and you have to make sure you have the truck in the right place because you can only pull cables so far. Well, the beauty of a unit like this is that if you go into a building, you start going deep into the building, it will jump on Wi-Fi. If there's an Ethernet port, you can plug it into Ethernet, and it will supplement your cellular. So you have the flexibility to pretty much get an HD signal from anywhere to anywhere, which is a huge advancement over the older technology. The OB vans in the past, that if you're gonna be using like satellite or microwave, that vehicle has to be stationary.
Sure.
But using the cellular network, you can drive and do TV. And you even being that this technology is just coming to Kenya and Africa as a whole, you've been receiving this content from these devices for the longest time, because if you've been watching like World Cup and Olympics, no one shows up now with satellite.
Oh.
This is how they're getting that content
like
from other parts of the world back to you.
Like in Kenya, we're very interested in athletics, and so we get a lot of feeds from IAAF, especially when we have the track races and stuff. I think it's a beautiful concept. Now, what does this mean to the, can I call it the 21st century broadcasting industry in Africa?
Well, what it means is that you get content now. You're getting content and news as it's happening. A broadcaster now can show up on site, and he doesn't have to do a lot of the scheduling of satellite time and all this kind of stuff. All he has to do is as simple as the same as like turning your phone on and start doing Facebook Live.
All right.
But it's basically allowed the broadcaster to behave in that same way. He shows up, with minimal preparation, and he can get content out before before anyone else shows up.
Sure.
So that is the beauty of this technology: flexibility, and allowing you to do things you never could do before.
The beauty I find also with this, if I may just take you back, is the idea that even people who are not broadcasters, when you're giving the example, I was thinking of a situation where we have a medical condition and guys are grappling here with what should we do,
Exactly.
Some surgeries are very rare in countries, mostly in Africa.
Exactly.
And then
Correct.
Exactly. Well, and to your point, I visited with one of our newest clients in the U.S. is the CDC, Centers for Disease Control.
Disease Control.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Things are happening all over the world. But the quicker that even an organization like that can get the content from where something is really happening that matters back to the people that can actually see what's going on and make decisions as to how we should deal with this, the safer it is for everyone.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, in the past, things will happen. Someone takes video. They take it back to the people, the decision makers, or whoever can solve the problem. And valuable time is lost. But with this technology, it's all happening real time.
Instant.
Yes.
Wow. That's very interesting. I mean, such technology coming to Africa at a time like this, like you said, we're taking bigger leaps that we can even imagine.
Right, yeah.
Abdi, maybe before we wind up, what could be your message out there to, of course, he mentioned a wide range of clients who need this. I mean, what would be your word to these other companies, like he said, utility companies? I mean, what would you like to share with them in terms of such a commodity?
Well, as you can see that, let's just go back to the SNG, which is the satellite transmitter, and microwave. Those are the only two ways to send a feed or a video from a place to another. So let's imagine how heavy is a microwave antenna and a microwave transmitter and receiver. Those are a very big equipment. And you need to point that microwave, for example, you need to point it from the receiver must see the transmitter, which they call it technically a line of sight. And that is like in a very limited
time.
Yeah, limited distance. Yeah, within a radius of 50 kilometers.
Right.
You can't go further than that. So how many people need to go with the transmitter? How many people need to go with the receiver?
Right.
For the SNG, you need a truck, or people are going with a crew of 10 people going, pointing to the satellite, booking, doing tests, paying money for the feed or to the uplink and downlink, and that will be like you go 2 days before to make it happen. Yes, exactly. Do test or whatever. With this one, you can just put it at your back and run with no time. Let's come to the cost. The TV station, they need to pay a lot of money for the satellite companies.
Yes.
To book 2 hours or something like that, you need to pay at least $500.
All right.
To book 2 hours with this one, you need to spend like $10. Let's say $20.
It's a huge difference.
Which is, look at the difference. sometimes you can spend even $5 for that, the capacity of the internet you are using.
All right.
And you can see the quality is coming out of this one. It's full HD. It's not like you're still having that standard of like SD or analog. Or no, this is full HD. Even sometimes you need to down convert. The signal is coming from the receive side, isn't it? So you need to down convert to SDI only. Yes, and have it on the other side.
With a gadget like that, a broadcaster is out there. Of course, there's some errors that happen where you're live on air.
Right.
Does it allow for delays and something like that in terms of if it's a broadcaster who is using it and putting out the material? Because as you know, we have, like in Kenya, we have the CA, which is the regulator in the industry. And so it's mandatory to us as broadcasters to have at least 7 to 10 seconds of mandatory delay in terms of what we put out on
Well,
air.
that's really a very good question. The delay with this bag, it is something unbelievable. In the normal condition, you can have a 2-second delay.
2 seconds.
And 2 seconds only. And if you have a very good internet connection, you can have only 0.5 second delay.
All right.
With this one, which you never get using the SNG satellite, for example. So this one is only 2 second delay. And you can have a full HD with the technology H.265, full HD coming with 0.5 second latency.
Is that delay, can I manipulate the delay? If I want to make it intentionally, deliberately longer for broadcasting purposes, is it possible to do it on the gadget?
You have full control of the delay as to how long you would like for that to be.
All right.
But what most organizations are concerned about is that if I can get the content from the remote location to the studio in a short amount of time, meaning that, and I know we've all seen this, you're watching an international broadcast and the anchor will actually say something to the talent in the field and they're standing there and they will just, and basically what they're waiting on, they've started to talk because the IFB is real time.
Exactly.
They've started to talk, but it takes that long for it to get from a remote location to the studio.
To the studio.
So that part of the delay, you want that to be short. But now if you want to add an additional delay going to air, let that happen from the TV station to the viewer. And that is to allow for someone saying something or something not going exactly the way, or you could be in violation of some type of FCC or regulation. So, but you do have full control of the delay for the unit.
So maybe as we finish, because I think also our time is also elapsing. Finally, as we finish, how many countries have you set foot on in Africa with this gadget?
Well, right now, we have South Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria, which is a very big market.
All right.
Egypt, which is a huge market.
Yes.
And Sudan, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, Ethiopia, Kenya as well. We have like almost 22 units here.
All right.
And Uganda, Mauritius. Actually, most of the African country, we have a unit there. Yes. Yes. Zambia, Angola, Senegal.
What other services are you offering? What other things are you doing as TVU?
As you know, things that are happening in Africa now is of interest to the entire world now.
Yes.
Lots of growth, as you clearly stated in your opening statement. You're finding other countries that are coming in and investing heavily in Africa. The world is also concerned about your wildlife reserves and things like that. So there's all sorts of reasons to be able to connect with Africa. A unit like this typically is a point-to-point. And when you do a broadcast, you can show that broadcast pretty much real time to your local viewers.
Yes.
But we in the United States, we're interested as well.
Yeah.
And the way it's typically done today is that you would take that broadcast, you would create your file, and then you would share that file with the rest of the world. But wouldn't it be nice if I can see the live content at the same time that your local viewers are watching it? So we have, products, especially one in particular called TVU Grid.
Right.
So it allows you to turn your transmitter on. It sends the video to your studio. Your viewers get it real time. Within a second, the rest of the world using TVU Grid is getting it at the same time. So we have a product called Grid Marketplace, TVU Grid Marketplace, where if you choose to participate in Grid Marketplace, organizations such as CNN International, they can see what you're doing at the same time that you're taking it. They can get a low resolution shot of it. They can send then to your organization a request within the TVU environment asking you for permission to use your content. If there's a monetary exchange that needs to happen, that happens. But if you then agree to it, you may say, yes, you can have access to this content live for 1 hour. You accept the request, they get the acknowledgement. For 1 hour, they get to see what you're doing. After that 1 hour, the system drops off. They no longer have access to it.
So you have full control.
Yes, but the main thing is all news now pretty much can easily become world news.
All right.
And you can share point to point or point to multi-point.
Does it have a limit on how many organizations you can share, like you just mentioned CNN International, so I can allow other broadcasters also to tap into the
They could tap into it if you allowed them to do so.
All right. It doesn't have a capacity.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Wow, that's interesting.
And sorry, TVU Producer. That's the most important part.
TVU Producer is a product that allows small organizations, such as, a lot of times you'll find broadcasters now, traditional broadcasters, you think of, you got this big studio with all, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment and a huge staff of people to bring a production to you. But today you're finding like a young teenager or, someone that's very young that wants to be able to, bring some original content to his viewers. Now, his viewers may be Facebook Live, YouTube Live. He has his news broadcast on that. So TVU Producer is a service in the cloud where he can have people to go out with phones. That content is then going to TVU Producer. He has the ability in Producer to add graphics and things like that and do real-time switching.
Using
cell phones.
Sending it
using cell phones.
Can this gadget do the same?
It can send to it too, but for a really low budget, young TV station that's trying to just get established.
Just coming up,
Right. It's a minimal investment for him. Because he has the phones. They have their phones already. And you may ask, well, but it's a phone. How good can the quality be? Well, an iPhone is ESPN's home studio kit. So if you see a shot from the home of an ESPN talent, it's an iPhone on a tripod. And that's just the way it's done. It makes sense.
Sure. That's interesting. I mean, as you're explaining that, my director was kind of asking me to ask this question: how, if we can connect, like use a camera, a cell phone on the ground as a camera for this gadget?
Yes. And basically, it's
and
not.
How do we connect?
It's not a cell phone for the gadget.
All right.
The cell phone becomes the camera.
The cell phone is the camera.
Yes. Just imagine that you're out somewhere at dinner.
Yes.
And something is happening right there in the restaurant.
Yes.
You can quickly make a call to the studio and say, "Hey guys, something is happening here that the world needs to see." You can bring up the TVU Anywhere app. When you bring up that app, your phone is now transmitting directly to the studio.
The studio.
You don't need to pack.
All right.
You're out at dinner.
Oh.
You're not there with the intentions of doing news, but that may be your golden opportunity to really capture something that otherwise no one else would see.
Definitely.
So you bring up your camera, it's sending an HD quality transmission back to the studio that they can take live to air immediately.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We call it TVU anyway.
Yes, it's TV anywhere. And you know, as they say, I know they say this in the U.S., and I'm sure they say this in Africa as well. The very best camera is the one that you have on you.
That's definitely it, because it's the only thing you have to capture the moment.
Right.
Yeah. Other ways that TVU Anywhere is used. Let's say that you're racing to the scene of a broadcast. As you're driving up, you can bring up your TVU Anywhere and you can start the transmission from the front seat of the vehicle while you're waiting for the photographer to get out and set up his camera and his pack. Just imagine just how interesting that has made your broadcast. Now, you know, not only are they seeing you seeing the news that you're trying to bring to them, they get to see a little bit of how that news has been made, how it's being made. And that just that's rather intriguing. People are really interested in how things are done. They're equally interested in how things are done as well as what you're actually covering. So it's a game changer.
I mean, time won't allow us, but then I would want to go for hours with you too. It's very interesting. And I'm really thankful that you found time to come here. Raymond, karibu Kenya tena. Welcome back to Kenya again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Abdi didn't teach you that?
Well, we're working on it.
But you know, it's coming into Kenya for the first time.
Yeah.
It's so overwhelming. It really is.
Sure.
Beautiful country.
Thank you.
Beautiful people
As
with
always.
such integrity and compassion. It's overwhelming. It really is. And to try to pick up the language while you're trying to take in everything, it's just incredible experience.
Thank you very much. Abdi, your parting shot?
Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk to you. Actually, we are very happy to be here. And I hope to see you next time having our equipment here, walking around, doing your show outside, using the same bag.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you invite me to Sudan, I'll come there, shoot the people again with you, and we'll use this gadget.
You can have your program even from there,
And
from Sudan.
But you have to be careful, though.
Yeah.
As easy as it is to use, they may make you go by yourself.
Okay, so I won't miss that brings us to the end of our program today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, or opinion, again, as I said, our email address is info@gbskenya.com. Our SMS line is 21144. 21144 is the number. Until next time, I've been your host, Timothy Omondi. Thank you for joining us. Let's meet again. Same time, same place. Bye-bye for now. Thank you very much.